A very warm welcome back to HMR Waterfront Presents Game on Hair, your post-show analysis of all the action we've just seen in this Super 8's encounter of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, and what an absolute drubbing the defending champions England just handed the US of A. They won with 10 wickets and 62 balls to spare. USA just not in the contest at all today. The defending champions, well, don't they like a target? Don't they like a run chase where they're given a clear goal? That is exactly what they managed to do. And they now know that they have absolutely, unequivocally qualified for the semi-finals. Very exciting times for the defending champions and the US of A. Well, that wonderful run has come to an end, unfortunately, for them. Out of contention for the semi-finals. What a performance by them, though, in this T20 World Cup. And so much to unpack here on the post-show. So my absolute pleasure to welcome back in my absolutely stunning co-host, Rohan Nadeem, and our expert panel. We have Professor Muhammad Hafiz,
Thank you.
Yunus Khan, Martin Guptill, all the way from New Zealand. And oh, look who's back in the studio. Shoaib Akhtar, welcome for the first time today, sir. I have a feeling you've come to remind me of a little something that happened in our post-show yesterday about Australia and Afghanistan. Before you say anything, let's just relive the prediction that the Rawalpindi Express made ahead of the clash of Australia versus Afghanistan. Let's take a little look.
Sincerely believe that Afghanistan should put up a great performance against Australian with the spin department and get that somehow yourself over the finish line by winning this game. How's that for a change? Yeah.
Something fun.
You know what? He was wild as a bowler. He was wild. He's still wild as an expert. Yeah. So
love that.
I mean, we know you have about, how many World Cups do you guys have? 4, 5?
Several.
Anyway. 7. Well, adding one more is not going to do anything new to you guys. So what I'm just saying is this myth needs to be broken. It's not a myth. I know you guys are super tough. You guys create such amount of pressure. Other team cannot sustain that kind of pressure. But having said that, I'm going to go for Afghanistan. How's that for a change?
We want to catch them all, though. We want all 3 titles, 3 ICC trophies in our cabinet at the same time. We haven't done that yet. That's new.
I think I'm with these guys here. I think Australia is going to be too strong. And then if you look at it, it's sort of like Faruqi versus Stark, isn't it? Yeah. You know, that match up as well. But Australia have been there before in what's effectively knockout games, and they know how to win those games. Afghanistan never been in this position before. They're not sure what to do in those sort of situations. So I just think that Australia's experience in being in those tough situations is going to pull them through.
You know, the team who can compete or win against Australia in this tournament at the moment is India, for sure, and with the same time England. So these 2 teams can give a tough time to Australia. Other than that, if you ask any other team, I think Australians are too far better team.
There's a new oracle in town, unfortunately, and I'm sorry to say I don't like it, but
love that
for the Rawalpindi Express.
Okay,
We'll go back to that first match that we unpacked in the pre-show, just to give Mr. Shoaib Akhtar the new oracle. Marty, crown him. Put your crown on his head.
But wow, that was wild.
No, I knew it. If I talk like a Hafiz right now, first you have to see the posture.
Let us get him some water first.
First you have to see the posture. Look at the posture. First of all, you asked me a question. That is honor for you. 1. Secondly, I'm above cricket. 2. No team can be beaten. 3. Thirdly, I'm Abdullah.
Yes, I am.
I'm Abdullah, not any white guy. But you have to listen to me. You don't listen to me because I'm Abdullah. 3. Thirdly, what a great management by Afghanistan team.
Management.
Must give it to Afghanistan. We love you. Thank God for that. I'm so happy. And this is Shoaib Akhtar talking now. Hafiz is out. I'm so happy, Rohan. I'm so happy for Afghanistan. Amount of effort that went in for last 2 to 3 years. Ask the eyewitness. It's right there, this guy. He worked with the Afghanistan team. Amount of passion that they have, amount of hard work they put into it, amount of win they did needed in this tournament after losing against Pakistan in the critical matches and the last World Cup, which the Glenn Maxwell, we're going to relive it again. That, thank God, didn't happen. I wanted Afghanistan to somehow to win this and break that myth. For India to come out of this depression hey guys, listen, if you can do it, hey, you need to do that too as well. So this depression of India, they need to come out tomorrow as we speak right now. They have set the tone for India to just win the World Cup. Here it is, right on the platter is the World Cup for you to take it. Just beat Australia, just because we have done it. But the worst mistake that Yunus has indicated, he said the only chance Afghanistan has or had, it is if they get to bat first. Which in reply I said they're going to give them a license, Aaron, to play the natural game. When you put in the chase, the batters, they know batting much better than I do. I don't know. When you do the chase with the immaturity, it's not going to happen. You can't find the gaps, you can't play run a ball. You know, you get under pressure. When they get under pressure, the Pathan get under pressure, he explodes. He'll explode. So they just go for slashing, slogging and everything, and they lose wickets, and that's how they lose game. That's called maturity. They'll come that, and Jonathan Trout, TJ Bravo, mostly Jonathan Trout, hats off to him. Hats off to Yunus, hats off to Rashid Latif, Inzamam, many of the cricketers, if I could not remember your name, they have participated for Afghanistan. But most of all, on top of it, Afghans, our brothers in our faith, they have won it. What a great intention that they had. What, वो जैसे कह रहे हैं मर रहे थे इस जीत के लिए,
जिगरा,
वो मर रहे थे इस जीत के लिए,
जिगरा।
वो मर रहे थे इस जीत के लिए, और किस टाइम पे आके उन्होंने परफॉर्मेंस दी और वो फैंटी लगाई ऑस्ट्रेलिया को, हाय हाय हाय, तसल्ली आ गई, दिल को मजा आ गया एरन, वेल डन अफगानिस्तान, लव यू।
फैंटी भी बता दे।
Fenty mean is this, you've beaten us
Beating, a good
last
beating.
World Cup, we're gonna hit you, smack you in the face with this is called Fanta.
Perfect.
This is what Afghanistan did to you.
Perfectly summed up there for our Aussie in-house. But Professor, आपका इस पे क्या जवाब है? Because we saw him answering as you.
देखिए मैं
Would you like to answer as Shoaib Akhtar?
मैं बहुत खुश हूँ कि इनके घर में भी चांद आया।
What about he was wild on the field and is wild on
You are
off
still
camera?
wild. You are
What
still
was
wild.
about that statement?
You are still wild, I'm telling you. But anyway, we all said that it's a great victory for Afghanistan, and I said it earlier. Like there's no doubt in my head, in my heart. Like they are the second best white ball format team in South Asia. There's no doubt, because in the last World Cup they did that, and now in this World Cup they are showing all that they can go far away from here. So I think whatever he said, his first prediction is right.
What do you mean first prediction? I even said
No,
about
I do
Pakistan
that. I
against
respect
US.
that.
Ask
Like my
Martin.
prediction was Australia, nothing else.
Asked Martin,
And he won
me
because
and Martin
Afghanistan won it.
Thursday
So I'm
was sitting. I
it's
said,
only a
Martin,
prediction.
I have my apprehensions about Pakistan team. May Pakistan.
But he never said it on media.
I don't have to say about the Pakistan on the media because I wanted to back my team up. I don't want to put more pressure.
But from heart you was not.
Mr. Abdullah,
you was
I
not
don't want to put
supporting them.
pressure. You know,
we
there's a
always support Pakistan. but
Yeah, exactly,
The
no
fact
matter
is
what.
fact. The
No,
fact
that's
is
on
fact.
record.
Yeah.
That's on record. He has backed
We will
Pakistan
always
team.
support Pakistan because we want to
Exactly.
win. Pakistan win every single trophy.
नहीं
for
उनकी
us.
करना चुम चुम मारना जी.
हो गया ना.
Marty,
I guess before this,
Marty,
this
you said
T20
something as
World
well.
Cup, Marty, I don't think you and I would have thought that both of our sides would lose to Afghanistan for the very first time ever in the format of the game. So, you know,
Just to
fair
remind
play.
you, tonight was a game of England versus
No.
USA.
Oh,
No.
I'm well aware, but
It's no.
Mr.
What he
Akhtar
said,
has decided
Aaron,
to join
This is the
us.
show back to
Here we are.
Aaron, that very, I just said, I said, you cannot write off Afghanistan.
They're in my
They
top
can win
four.
it.
They were in my top
But Mr.
four.
Above Cricket, which is called Muhammad Hafiz, the quality of Australian player is so high, Mr. Shoaib, they can't be beaten. One. It's a highly unlikely. I said Hafiz can be done. No, I said so. They can't be done.
बहुत ऊपर जाओगे.
ठीक है? वो तो मुझे आज है.
मैं देख
Thank
लिया.
you very much,
मैं पहले
Afghanistan,
भी
to
कह चुका हूँ, अभी कह
mobilize.
रहा हूँ.
Thank you very much, Afghanistan, to mobilize 2.5 billion people around the subcontinent. With this win, each one of us is just like thrilled.
Yeah.
I'll be very honest with you. Thrilled by this win. Thank you for making us play this cricket, beautiful game of cricket, once all over again because of you guys.
Right,
think we should all have some Kabuli pulao for dinner just
Yeah.
to celebrate with our Afghan brothers. But we tried to wrap up the show in our post-show that we did earlier today, in which we went over the win properly, did our in-depth analysis. But do you think we should get back to USA versus England? We have our first semi-finalist.
Do we have time to do that now?
We have our first semi-finalists in this World Cup, and they are the defending champions. Martin Guptill, did you see them booking their spot in the semi-final in that manner?
I think it was likely, wasn't it? I wanted the USA to win. Trying to back the underdog, obviously didn't happen, but I think it was a likely win for England, and they just overpowered the USA right from the start. The USA showed glimpses, but it was just not for long enough to be able to put up a defendable total. And at the end of the day, 115 was never going to be enough, and for England to chase it down in less than 10 overs, I mean, they just really took the game away, didn't they? So well done, England. Yeah, but I did want USA to win just one game in the Super 8s.
Hafiz, twice now England have had the task of having to win and win by such a large margin in order to ensure that they progress. Once again, they get the job done.
Yeah.
Something about a target really invigorates Jos Buttler, particularly with his personal performance. But England as a whole, they were just brilliant today in every facet.
Well, as a team, they believe on themselves from the journey they had. Rough and tough started in a way where they could be out of the tournament because of the rain, because of the one bad game they played. But this is how a strong team show their character. So I think as a team, everyone must be in a high spirit of the game. They must be feeling like we are ready to take any team straight away. So I think as a captain leading from the front is a special effort from Jos Buttler, especially in this game when they all know obviously they have to win the game with a big margin, and coming out and smacking the ball everywhere is just amazing. And as I said, their rough and tough journey basically given them a lot of confidence, because when you go through with this process, you always shine. So I think that's what I said earlier. Like, if Australia should not take them on and at any stage of this tournament, because these guys are ready for taking Australia on straight away, because the statement given that earlier, to me that really brought the character out of them, because they showing like they really feel that from heart, and they're showing that we are a defending champion for a right reason, and they deserve to be there.
Right, Yunus, your thoughts on this win? 115 on the board, आसान नहीं होने वाला था to defend for USA and their bowlers. लेकिन जैसे net run rate को mind में रखते हुए opening pair ने जाके match खत्म किया in under 10 overs. Spectacular to see the defending champions back in their colour.
नहीं होना चाहिए था उनको, क्योंकि अगर कोई बारिश फिर हो जाती है और ऐसी टीम जब बाहर हो जाती है और इस पॉइंट को लेके तो थोड़ा सा ऑकवर्ड लग रहा होता है। तो इंग्लैंड ने बहुत सिंपल किया अपने लिए, और अच्छा हुआ कि वो आज फिर टॉस जीत गए और उन्होंने पहले बॉलिंग की और फिर उन्होंने मेक श्योर किया कि वो कोई यहाँ पे कोई भी पॉइंट ना दे, कोई भी जगह ऐसा ना दे जिससे वो पीछे रह जाए। उन्होंने एग्जैक्टली वही कहा, जैसे उम्मीदें थी जॉस बटलर से कि वो परफॉर्म करेंगे, उन्होंने फ्रंट से लीड किया, उनकी बॉलिंग की देख लें। और ख़ास तौर पे मैं यहाँ पे सीजे की ज़रूर बात करूँगा। क्रिस जॉर्डन, व्हाट अमेजिंग वो टीम मैन है। वो जब खेलते हैं, जहाँ भी खेलते हैं, जिस पोजीशन पे भी खड़ा कर दे, कहीं भी उसको, तो जो टीम मैन होता है, जब उसकी तरफ से परफॉर्मेंसेज आ रही थी और आपने देखा कितने खुश हो रहे थे उनके सारे, और इवन हम यहाँ खुश हो रहे थे क्योंकि हम भी उनके साथ एक जर्नी है हमारी। तो मेरे ख्याल से ये एक टीम ऐसी लग रही है कि ये बहुत कुछ करने जा रही है, और मुझे लगता है कि ये कुछ ना कुछ ये आज उन्होंने स्टेटमेंट दी है। और हमेशा आप मैचेस तो ठीक है जीतते भी हो और हार भी जाते हो, लेकिन आप इवन हारने के बाद भी स्टेटमेंट ज़रूर देते हो, और आज जिस तरह जीतने के बाद उन्होंने स्टेटमेंट दिए कि हम यहाँ पे हैं, ठीक है हमसे थोड़ा सा स्लो स्टार्ट हुआ, लेकिन आज हम अपने गेम पे बिल्कुल पीक पे हैं।
Well, Australia losing to Afghanistan and England booking their semi-final spot on the same day. Aaron, what does that say about some of the context that was brewing, so much drama that was brewing between these two teams, and it's so spectacular to see them answer, the English players, to see them answer in such a manner.
Absolutely. Well, don't forget Australia beat England already in this T20 World Cup. But anyway, I would love to see if they get to face each other again. Now England have settled on their playing 11 as well. It was a very different looking side that did play Australia in the group stages of the tournament. But Sharib, what a statement win by the defending champions. Talk about peaking at the right time in the tournament. What kind of impression did you have on this particular match and how they finished it with 62 balls to spare without losing a wicket? Like, doesn't get much more statement than that.
Run rate, that is important. I think the statement has to come from the captain. The captain is right up there. It is one of the finest batsmen. Ask Guptill, Yunus, they'll tell you he's an amazing talent. when it comes to power hitting the ball, when it comes to, you know, manufacturing the innings, he is one of these best. And getting him that kind of a start in the runs, hey, what else do you want? This is not a statement, it's just, it's a threat.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're going to be out there. Australia might be out, who knows? I don't know. India must win tomorrow. I'm just saying, to eliminate the threat. Because after all, if Australia makes a comeback now afterwards tomorrow, then there is no chance for other teams. I give you 100%, writing on the wall, they come back very strong. If England comes, that is another threat. These are one of the finest T20 teams in this circuit right now, those who can actually defeat India by any given day. So him, Jafra Archer, coming back in a form, and Jordan, he just gets the wickets. He does that. And Archer's bowling with the 16 runs away, given his 15 runs. I mean, it's just a lethal combination when you see all of this. And then what do you say about the Adil Rashid? He's right there every time. 13 runs, 2 wickets, 4 overs. ये हमारे लेग स्पिनर क्यों नहीं आउट करते? ये लेग स्पिनर क्यों आउट कर रहा होता है? हफीज साहब,
बिल्कुल है।
अब्दुल्ला साहब,
आज कोई आंसर नहीं करेंगे। देखिए, अगर आप उनकी आज जॉर्ज बटलर की बात करें,
ऐसा why only Rashid gets wickets? Our leg spinner cannot get it.
जी
क्योंकि वो प्रॉपर देखिए, बात असल में कि हमारा, अगर हम किसी के अगेंस्ट बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, लेकिन देखिए शादाब खान कहाँ से आए? T20 से आए और फौरन ही वो रेगुलर खेलने लग गए। तो अब देखिए, आप T20 में होता है क्या है?
आदिल रशीद कहाँ से आए?
जी नहीं, टेस्ट क्रिकेट से एक पूरा फर्स्ट क्लास। अगर आप आदिल रशीद की फर्स्ट क्लास देखेंगे, अच्छा उसके बाद जो दूसरे उनके बैटर्स हैं, बॉलर्स हैं, उनकी फर्स्ट क्लास देखेंगे, तो वो एक कहते हैं ना कि पूरे पाइपलाइन से आ रहे होते हैं। ऐसे नहीं कि देखिए, इवन हम शहनशाह अफरीदी की बात करते हैं, तो शहनशाह अफरीदी इंटरनेशनल खेलने से पहले कितने फर्स्ट क्लास गेम खेले हुए थे। तो मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि नहीं आते हैं, आए। वसीम अकरम एक नेट में आया और
मेरा कल कितने थे?
आपके
135।
जी। तो देखिए, बात असल में कि देखिए, हम ये नहीं कह रहे कि नहीं आते हैं, आते ज़रूर हैं। ऐसे भी आते हैं कि नेट में देख लिया, तौसीफ अहमद को नेट में देख लिया और वो आ गए। ऐसा नहीं होता कि नहीं आते, लेकिन फिर वो खेलते हैं, फिर वो मिच्योर होते हैं। अच्छा, ये अब मेरे ऊपर है कि मुझे कितना मिच्योर होना है, मुझे कितना आगे जाना है, मुझे इसी पे खुश रहना है, तो फिर मैं एक मीडियोकर सा वो प्लेयर बनूंगा। तो मेरे ख्याल से आदिल रशीद की बात करें और ख़ास से जॉर्ज बटलर की, आज हम ज़रूर बात करें कैप्टनसी की। हमने पहले कहा था कि मोइन अली को यूज़ नहीं करते, आदिल रशीद अकेले ही बॉलिंग कर रहे होते, आज नहीं हुआ। आज लिम लिविंगस्टन ने भी बॉल की है और 2-2-3-3
175 उसके फर्स्ट क्लास।
मैं इसी पे आने लगी।
टेस्ट क्रिकेट खेले हुए हैं, रेगुलर खेलते रहे,
पाथवे के थ्रू वो आए हैं सिस्टम के अंदर, एक पूरा अपना करियर फर्स्ट क्लास का। शोएब, आपने भी ये सवाल क्योंकि किया, इट्स एन इम्पोर्टेंट वन। लेकिन सवाल मेरा यहाँ पे ये है कि जब आप आउट ऑफ फॉर्म होते हैं, फिर आप कहाँ जाते हैं? Where do you find your form back? Where is the difference between Adil Rashid and
देखिए,
come back to the first class. He's saying that he plays that.
अभी आप देखिए, आज की न्यूज़ है कि ग्लोबल T10 के लिए कितने प्लेयर्स हमारे साइन किए हुए हैं। मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ खेलें, कोई मसला नहीं, खेलें। लेकिन आप मुझे बताएं कि अगर मैं आउट ऑफ फॉर्म हूँ, मैं यहाँ से उठूँगा, मैं अगले ही हफ्ते चला जाऊँगा लीग खेलने के लिए, तो मुझे कितना काम कर सकता हूँ अपने फॉर्म पे। वहाँ जाऊँगा, मुख्तलिफ पिचेज़ है, शायद अब पिचेज़ अच्छी मिल गई तो मेरे आउट होने शुरू हो जाएंगे। अच्छा, पिचेज़ अच्छी हो, आप बैटिंग कंडीशन आ गई तो मैं रन्स करने शुरू कर दूँगा। ऐसा नहीं है, आप जाए, आप एक फॉर्म है। मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि वहाँ की क्रिकेट जो है वो नीचे होगी, लेवल उनका भी हाई होगा, लेकिन एक तरीका है, आपको इम्प्रूव करना है। और आपने सिर्फ एक जो है ना, एक लेवल पर नहीं रहना है, क्योंकि हर लेवल पर आपने ऊपर जा रहे हैं। आज अगर हम अफगानिस्तान टीम की बात कर रहे हैं तो वो लर्न कर रहे हैं, वो आगे जा रहे हैं, वो खड़े नहीं हैं। अभी भी कुछ अर्से पहले वो पाकिस्तान से मैच हार जाते थे क्लोज आके, फिर उन्होंने वो पार किया, फिर एक यूएई में एक सीरीज़ हुई, उन्होंने पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ जीत लिया, फिर वर्ल्ड कप आया, फिर पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ दोबारा जीत लिया 50 ओवर का गेम, फिर ऑस्ट्रेलिया को हराते रह गए। लेकिन उनके मुझे पता है कि मैंने उनके साथ काम किया, उनके जहन में था कि हमने ऑस्ट्रेलिया को कहीं ना कहीं पछाड़ना है, आज कर दिया। अब मैं बता रहा हूँ आज वो क्या प्लानिंग कर रहे होंगे। आज उनकी प्लानिंग ये होगी, हम सेमीफाइनल में क्या फाइनल तक कैसे जाएंगे।
लेकिन अफगानिस्तान की अपनी फर्स्ट क्लास क्रिकेट डोमेस्टिक स्ट्रक्चर कितना स्ट्रॉन्ग या वीक है? वो भी तो बहुत लीग्स खेलते हैं।
उनके पास तो नहीं है ना, देखिए उनके पास तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है ही नहीं, अब वो कर रहे हैं। लेकिन एक देखिए, उनकी एक अच्छी बात यह है कि जो फॉर्म में वो बेस्ट हैं, उनके ऑलमोस्ट सारे ही प्लेयर जो हैं वो सिर्फ ये मैं ये नहीं कहूँगा छोटी लीग है, बड़ी लीग है, बिग बैश में भी खेलते हैं वो।
बिल्कुल।
आप मुझे बताएं हमारे कितने प्लेयर बिग बैश में खेलते हैं? अगर मेरे पास चॉइस हो, मैं यूनुस खान हूँ, मैं टॉप का प्लेयर हूँ, मेरे पास, मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि बांग्लादेश की क्रिकेट जो लीग है नीचे है या कनाडा की लीग नीचे, लेकिन मेरी क्या प्रायोरिटीज होंगी? मैं तो जाऊँ, मैं बिग बैश खेलूँ, मैं काउंटी के जाके वहाँ वो जो हंड्रेड्स होती हैं,
क्वालिटी कंपटीशन, क्वालिटी क्रिकेट,
मैं वहाँ जाऊँ ताकि मैं अपने स्किल्स को और कोचेस के साथ जाके मैं काम कर सकूँ। देखिए ये सारे जितने भी ये फॉरेन क्रिकेटर्स हैं वो सारे आईपीएल जाते हैं। स्पिनर को अच्छा खेलने शुरू हो गए ना, पहले बॉलर आते थे, बॉल फेंकते थे और जो है ना इनसे खेला नहीं जाता था। आज वो क्यों अच्छे हो गए अगेंस्ट स्पिनर? कहाँ से सीख के आए? पीएसएल से
फेसिंग दोस क्वालिटी अटैक्स, दैट्स
और फिर आप कोचेस के साथ टाइम स्पेंड कर रहे होते हैं।
यार यूनुस बात खुली करना यार, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती, नीयत की जरूरत पड़ती है, काम करने की जरूरत पड़ती है। उन्होंने बगैर ग्राउंडों की अपनी टीम खड़ी कर ली।
बिल्कुल ऐसे।
तुम्हारे पास तुम मिट्टी के माधु हो,
बिल्कुल
तुम नहीं कर सकते?
बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं।
क्यों नहीं कर सकते?
देखिए साउथ अफ्रीका पे बैन था ना,
हाँ
92 में आए,
हाँ
कैसी टीम थी उनकी?
हाँ
They were banned
Masla is
before
not about
92.
infrastructure.
South Africa was banned in international cricket, but they were have the good infrastructure over there. As they come back to international cricket, they wonders from 92.
Yeah.
Thing
So,
is,
ये तो you have to learn
look at their
like
intent. Look
I
at
think
what
the
they're trying to
intent-
achieve.
intent
ओ यार वो जीतना चाह रहे हैं
to do
वर्ल्ड
good.
कप, वो वर्ल्ड कप जीतना चाह रहे हैं। लो
ऐसा ही है।
मैं सही बता रहा हूँ, मैं उनकी थिंकिंग, ये उनकी थिंकिंग है, वो वर्ल्ड
ऐसा
कप
ही है।
जीतना चाहते हैं। वो आपने फैंटी लगानी चाहिए सेमीफाइनल में भी। We're gonna go out there and win it.
Going for the kill.
We're gonna kill the kill.
That's the
So
secret.
that is the intent.
That's
Pakistan is lacking.
That's the secret behind the Afghani team's growth, right? It's not just that they're getting complacent at any point. You know, they've beaten XYZ and that's it.
Well,
They
look,
can
USA.
celebrate. It's continued growth for them, and I think a lot of other teams can draw inspiration from their journey.
Absolutely, and it hasn't been clear cut as well. Like you said, they prioritise international cricket because they don't have domestic structure available to them in the same way that many other countries do. They've learnt their trade by playing in franchise T20 cricket all around the world, but coming together as often as they can, and how wonderful to see them gelling so well, albeit at the expense of Australia in the early hours of this morning in Pakistan. But bringing it back, if I may, to the game that we've just witnessed, where England, the defending champions, an extraordinarily large win over the joint host nation, the US of A. We'll take a little look at the match summary to remind us of the story of the game. And well, England, they won the toss. They elected to bowl first. They really knew how quickly they needed to chase these runs on the board today. It was only 115, not very much scoreboard pressure, given what we know of the wicket in Barbados. And it was Nitish who was top scorer at 30 of 24 balls. He looked brilliant, holed out way too early though, unfortunately. Corey Anderson, yeah, run a ball 29 off 28, but in the end, it was the bowling from England, led from the front. Chris Jordan, he got 4 wickets in 5 balls in his final over there. Only bowled 2.5, ends up with figures of 4 for 10, and the first ever hat-trick for English men in the history of the format of the game. But Adil Rashid, the way that he and Livingston bowled through the middle there, the twin leggies doing the damage, 2 for 13, he was just extraordinary today, backed up by Sam Curran as well, 2 for 23. And in reply, well, Joss Buttler and Phil Salt, welcome back the English openers. They chased it down with 62 balls to spare with a huge win by 10 wickets. And most importantly, as we take a little look at the points table to see exactly where they finished up, look at that queue sitting pretty next to England's name. They'll be so overjoyed to see that the defending champions and that healthy net run rate after 2 massive victories, one over the West Indies and now one over USA. They cannot be beaten for a top 2 position. They qualify with a net run rate of 1.99. Congratulations to the defending champions. What a win, Roha. And they did it in record time. 62 ball win. It's huge.
The intent was there from the start, and you know, from what
Heck
you
yes,
said
it was.
about Chris Jordan, that match winning spell, wicket, dot, wicket, wicket, wicket.
4 wickets.
Insane. And after being on the bench for that many matches, coming in, finding your place in the 11 and doing that, insane. Still, what a game.
एंड क्या आपको मज़ा आता है फिर जब आप ये देखते हो ना यार कि जब मैं बेंच पे बिठाया तो सम टाइम आपको बेंच पे उठाना पड़ता है ताकि आपका अंदर का जो है ना इंसान वो बाहर आए ज़रा चीरने फाड़ने के लिए। तो उसने आज के चीर फाड़ दी उसने आके, उसने आया उन्होंने कहा तबाही मचा दूंगा।
देखें जी तबाही।
और ये तो लकी विकेट था, लेकिन ऑब्वियसली T20 है, लेकिन दीज आर अ वेरी गुड बॉल्स। आई मीन वी सी दैट रिवर्स हो रहा है भाई, और पूरा देखे ठाक करके डंडे पे. What a happy soul this guy is. What a happy soul. Very strong. Knew him right from the word go when he was young. Still young, but he was a kid when I met him first time. जब he is in 2009. A brilliant team man, a great guy. An amazing bowler when it comes to T20 format. He made for that.
हफीज़ एक इंटरेस्टिंग प्रॉब्लम भी क्रिएट हो गई है इंग्लैंड के सिलेक्शन के लिए कि अब अगले मैच में ऑब्वियसली मार्क वुड हैजंट बीन पार्ट ऑफ द प्लेइंग 11 टुडे बट व्हाट डू दे डू नाउ वेयर डू दे गो एंड यू टॉक्ड अबाउट द प्रोस्पेक्ट ऑफ रिवर्सिंग टुडे वी सॉ दैट हैपनिंग इन क्रिस जॉर्डन डिलीवरिंग विद दैट गेम प्लान वेरी क्लियरली.
ये देखें मार्क वुड जैसा बॉलर ना खेले, क्रिस जॉर्डन उसको रिप्लेस करे या वो बेंच पे बैठा हो, आप सोचें कि उनकी बेंच स्ट्रेंथ कितनी स्ट्रॉन्ग है कि कोई भी खेले कोई भी बाहर हो जाए उसका एक रिप्लेसमेंट रेडी पड़ी हुई है. तो मुझे लगता है कि ये यहाँ से सीखना चाहिए कि आपकी बेंच स्ट्रेंथ होती क्या है. दूसरा मुझे लगता है कि इस वक्त ये कोई भी टीम ये ऐसी ही पोजीशन में रहना चाहेगी कि उसको मसला पड़ जाए कि कौन खेले और कौन ना खेले. तो इस वक्त मुझे लगता है कि अगर मैं इनकी तरफ जाऊं तो मुझे लगता है जो राइट रीज़न थी लाने की रिवर्स स्विंग की एक ऑप्शन, क्योंकि ये रिवर्स स्विंग से बॉल मोस्टली जो डेथ ओवर है ये बहुत अच्छे करते हैं और शायद मुझे लगा है कि उनके पास मार्क वुड वो रोल प्ले नहीं कर रहे थे, तो उन्होंने एक राइट कैलकुलेशन करके इसकी राइट यूटिलाइजेशन करने के लिए इनको टीम में लेके आए एंड जिस तरह उन्होंने डिलीवर किया इस स्पेशल.
Absolutely special, and to think the man that was born in Barbados, yes, he plays for England now, but to do it in his home ground in so many ways.
Hat-trick in Barbados.
Yeah, and Nasser Hussain
Imagine.
saying, he would have watched so much cricket growing up here. To get to do that in front of friends and family, it's such an iconic venue. So Garfield Sobers watching in the crowd,
And
what
the
a moment.
The final is going to be played in Barbados, so if England make it to that final, on-song bowlers, batters getting those runs, I think it's going to be an ideal combination for them to really, put up their best effort in that
And maybe an
final.
ideal ground considering everything we've seen so far in this T20 World Cup, where there is opportunity for the bowlers and batters alike to make inroads. So it's quite an even playing field in all respects, but remains to be seen who will be contesting. We do know the defending champions keep their campaign alive though, and off the back of Joss Buttler basically chasing down that run chase single-handedly, Marty. 83 of 38 balls, 6 fours, 7 sixes. Phil Salt was a mere bystander pretty much at the other end, just watching Joss Buttler completely unleash. He is so unstoppable when he's in this kind of form. How did you enjoy the innings?
He was pretty circumspect to start with, I felt. He got himself in, he gave himself a chance to actually get in and get the pace and stuff of the wicket, and he just played some really nice shots up front. Look at that, he was 5 off 10. So it's not like he got off to an absolute flyer. Netravalka was on the receiving end of a couple of sixes here, and as soon as Joss got the pace of the wicket, he started to play a few more expansive shots, and then obviously towards the end of the innings he just absolutely unleashed and hit 32 off and over, and that was game over. So
5 sixes off 1 Harmeet Singh over.
I mean, unlucky for Harry there, he just got absolutely dealt with. It is just the way it is. I mean, things could have been different there if that had been taken, but that's cricket, and goes to his reverse sweep and just is able to manipulate the field just
Here's
however
the
he
over
wants.
here, I think. Oh, it's just
I mean, it's a
brilliant
great
to
use of
watch.
defeat that to bring up the 50, and then I think this is about the time I left my room and to come here and got in the car and it was game over. So it all happened very quickly.
Eunice, some delightful hitting there. What do you enjoy about this innings?
No, as a leader, you have to play like that, leading from the front. And we were when we were talking about the team sheet, so I was thinking that today may he just, make something special for the team, and he's done it that. So I think Team England is in a good shape, and I hope they can through. They are already through. And my prediction is that maybe South Africa is the other team.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you think they're going to beat the West
It
Indies
is
at
my
home?
feeling, yeah. It is my feeling.
I think everyone's an oracle now. I love it, Roha. What do you reckon? Should we ask a prediction now from our guests?
Let's go. Let's see.
Top four.
Record
Top 4.
this.
Yeah.
Okay, Professor, starting with
Go
you.
with the right.
No, you have to say it. She asked you first. Go on.
England.
England.
Top 4.
And?
England.
England.
Wow. Same
Only
answer.
From
Yeah,
this,
I given my first one. Na?
From
हम
this-
4 बैठे ना, so I given my first one. England is
from
there.
this group, England and for me, England and South Africa.
England, South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had South Africa, West Indies, and now I've just got to change that. So I'll probably go the same, England, South Africa.
England, South Africa.
Yeah.
Shoaib.
England,
From this
South Africa, India, Afghanistan.
India, Afghanistan. Ooh, shots fired. Shots fired. Not sure how I feel about that.
Record that. Record his expression.
But I think
Record this moment.
Aaron, we will talk it later. Don't worry. Just wait. Sometime you have to wait.
You know what? Everyone needs to lose one in order to win one. Australia has lost their one. Beware everyone else now. I hope you've recorded that and we can replay that and it doesn't come back to bite me. We are
I
off
hope
to-
he will attend that show also.
Yes, exactly. I think we're off to a very short breather here on HMR Waterfront Presents Game on Hair. Still plenty more to unpack, and of course, we'll look at the bowling led from the front by Adil Rashid, and we'll look ahead to the all-important clash for other semi-final spot in Group 2. Don't go anywhere.
वेलकम बैक टू HMR वाटरफ्रंट प्रेजेंट्स गेम ऑन है. हम बात कर रहे थे इंग्लैंड वर्सेस यूएसए की. इंग्लैंड हैव बुक्ड देयर प्लेस इन दैट सेमीफाइनल, बट नाउ द आईज विल बी ऑन द रिमेनिंग 3 spots that are still open. So more on that coming up, because we know the next match in this group is essentially going to be a quarter final, and whoever wins between South Africa and West Indies will book that second place from this group. But let's come back to the effort that we saw from Team USA today. उसके ऊपर हमने अभी तक इतनी बात नहीं की. They struggled with the bat, they struggled with the ball, and in their batting, Shoaib, the top scorer was just, he could only get 30 runs. So if we could take a look back at the fall of wickets and see where they were struggling with their bat. We know them to have those strong opening partnerships. आज वो भी नहीं थी, and nobody could do that recovery for them.
Batting की तो I think Martin Guptill बताएगा, तो it's going to be better. Martin, please go for it.
Have you had enough of work tonight, have you, already?
Yeah, it's been a tough day in office.
I think we saw Andreas House is very unlucky to get out there. He'd already hit a 6 earlier in the over. These next 2 wickets, just typical legsman bowling, greedy airs, trying to go for the stumps with the wrong ends, and just the batter's just not picking it. I think a lot can be said for Adil Rashid and how he bowled today, and which allowed Chris Jordan to reap the rewards at the end of the innings. And here we can see Livingston bowling a long hop that got a bit extra bounce and getting a wicket with it as well. And you know, a full toss there. We saw a couple of wickets off full tosses today, which is another one here. Very unlucky for Corey getting out like that. But and then obviously the last 3. Very straight, not giving up the stumps, no width, and yeah, the lower order not being good enough to lay bat on it. So well bowled to Chris Jordan for bowling straight enough to knock the stumps over.
Hafiz, you said before the game as well, Livingston isn't really living up to his reputation in this format. Do you think you were impressed by his spell, because they did use him? He did bowl 4 overs today.
No, I didn't said like no. He's not.
Please, you explain that. What you said.
I
at that
basically
time.
said like he was underutilized as a bowler in this format, because if he's playing as an all-rounder, as a batsman who can give you leg spin, he's not been given enough opportunity in this tournament. And I'm happy that he at least bowled 4 over quota for today's game. That will give him a lot of confidence on this track, because if anyone as a batsman who can bowl off spin or leg spin or left arm spin will not be utilized in these conditions, you basically not using the best out of him at the moment. So I think Josh Buttler realized that he has to give a ball to someone like to Livingston to give him a go, and he replied very well. Still, I believe today Moeen Ali didn't bowl even a single over.
Yeah.
So these 3, if they will contribute in their bowling in these tracks, will add a lot of value.
I think if we had seen 2 left-handers at the crease, Moeen Ali would have bowled. But I think because there was 2 right-handers at the crease and Adil Rashid was getting a bit of turn, he thought Livingston can come on and bowl some leg spin as well, get the ball turning away from the bat, and he bowled very well today. I'm going to run a ball. So.
लेकिन वैसे मानना पड़ेगा रोहा. बैटिंग का तो मुझसे पूछा, फास्ट बॉलिंग का फीस से पूछ लिया.
मैंने आपसे बैटिंग का नहीं पूछा, फॉल ऑफ विकेट्स दिखा रहे
मेरी बैटिंग
थे.
कोच नहीं है.
मैं बताता हूँ हाफिज भाई जो
Those were the
explain
fall
करना
of
चाहते
Batting
हैं.
coach, if you remember,
He
he
is
said
batting
he
coach.
would be a
But you're
batting
an
coach. He
all-rounder,
wanted
he's
to.
an all-rounder, so
on our recommendation,
have a balance.
he is the next batting
Well,
coach for Pakistan.
let's talk about Adil Rashid, because he was the player of the match with his 2 for 13 off 4 overs. Yes, Josh Buttler made a brilliant 83 off like no balls, but the fact that Adil Rashid came in after they got off to a decent start in the power play USA, it has to be said, So masterful once again, Yunus, with the ball. You know how important a quality leggy is in this format of the game. And he loves bowling in Barbados. We'll relive his wickets and his spell now. But what was so impressive about him getting so much out of the wicket once again in these circumstances that he loves?
No, he has all the good quality as a leg spinner.
Yeah.
And especially when he mixing his googly and flipper, and he tossed up the ball as well, and he knows how to operate in this condition, especially these back-to-back googlies when he get wickets. And you know, today George Buttler listened to Hafiz Bhai that when he explaining that about the opportunity, he said that maybe not only 1 hour, goes for 2 or 3 hours. Especially the spinner, if they bowl 2 or 3 hours, that's how he get his rhythm. So that's why, you know, it's make difference, especially in these middle hours. If you 2 of your spinners bowl regularly and in the partnership, it will make some difference for your team.
Yeah, variations, leg breaks, googly, shove. He has all the tricks in these conditions.
Aaron, did you notice something that he does not lose pace when he does the other one, googly one, right? He's as quick as the leg break one. It gives himself a time to spin. Variation 2. Thirdly, he doesn't lose the pace. Thirdly, he's not afraid to pitch it up.
Yeah.
Even
and his pitch map is
look
googly, flipper, and leg break is pitch same areas.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was how accurate he is. He does not miss the length by any given day. He does not miss the length.
Is that what makes it so difficult to pick them, Marty? When you know you're getting all these different variations that are are landing in the same areas, where you're kind of not really sure what you're going to get until you kind of see it come out of the hand, or what makes him so deceptive?
He just hides his wronging very well. I think if you face him enough, you're able to pick up on his wronging. It is slightly wider than what his leg spinners are, his stock ball is. So you know that if it's slightly wider, there's a good chance that it's going to be coming back. But then he is good enough to be able to throw in that wide leggy as well, to get you sort of fishing outside off as well. So he's a very smart bowler in the way he does it. He's very systematic in how he sets a batsman up, and he does it very, very well.
Yep.
Considering the final is going to be played here as well, Professor, how
does that pitch allow you to spin the ball? Of course it does.
How important is Adil Rashid if England are to go back to back?
Well, must be. He's proving himself one of the person who basically give them wickets in a very crucial stages of the game, because most of the time when he takes wicket, he give England a best chance to win the game, because he controls very well. Even in the last game, I think he took 3 wickets where he basically controlled the game, and today again by taking the 2 middle order batsmen out, he basically given a hope, special moments for England where the Chris Jordan came in and got that hat-trick and also finish it off as soon as possible. So I think as a spinner, Zampa is doing the same job for Australia. Rashid Khan is doing for Afghanistan, and Kuldeep is doing for India. So how important it is that as a spinner you have to take wicket. It's not about your 4 overs and not taking wickets and you can go away with 20 runs. It will not win the matches for any team until unless you take 2 to 3 wickets. You can give 20 or 30 runs extra, like if you given 4 overs 30 runs and took 3 wickets, that is more important than 4 over 20 without wicket in the middle over. So I think that's what he believes on. He used his variation very well throughout his whole career, and he's more successful.
And you know, before we wrap up from this match and move forward, it's nice to reflect on the cricket that USA have played in this World Cup. They're bidding us farewell now, for now, but we can't wait to see where these players go. The captain, the stand-in captain, Aaron Jones, in the end, he said that it was a big dream for us to play against these big teams, the big boys, and hopefully this will open the eyes of the American public towards us.
Is he not thankful to us?
But you look at his desire that where so many teams enjoy so much home support, they are still struggling to get that attention from the American public. And I think this is a very beautiful message to sign off from your World Cup campaign. We hope you will pay attention to us and give us your support.
win-win situation हो गई है. उन्होंने अमेरिका में क्रिकेट खेल ली, अपने होम क्राउड के सामने पाकिस्तान को हरा दिया, कनाडा को हरा दिया, तो और से ज़्यादा क्या हो सकता है. और फिर जो उन्होंने इन्वेस्टमेंट की थी कुछ अरसे से, वो पे ऑफ हुई उनकी, इससे अच्छा इवेंट नहीं हो सकता। और फिर कहीं से कोई ऐसी होप भी नहीं थी कि वो सुपर 8 में चले जाएंगे, और वो सुपर 8 में मौजूद है। तो उनकी तरफ से, और फिर उसमें भी ऐसा नहीं था कि एक आधा मैच को अगर निकाल लें, साउथ अफ्रीका का मैच क्या ज़बरदस्त खेला वो। तो मेरे ख्याल से उनके लिए तो ये उन्होंने बहुत कुछ अचीव किया, उनके बैटर्स ने, उनके बॉलर से। और ख़ास तौर पे देखिए, ये सिर्फ आपने क्रिकेट नहीं खेली, आपने उन टीमों के ख़िलाफ़ खेली जो कि जिनको आप बहुत सारे प्लेयर ऐसे थे कि जो इंडिया से थे, पाकिस्तान से थे, और उनके ड्रीम होगा कि वो पाकिस्तान से खेलते या इंडिया से खेलते, और उस टीम में थे और अपने ही हीरोज़ के सामने खेल रहे थे। तो उनके लिए तो विन विन सिचुएशन रही है ये।
Right, Saurabh Netravalkar will be showing up to work soon. I think that he will be expecting a grand welcome back from all these days off. But what a way to spend your time off, Erin.
And what a way for USA to announce themselves on the world stage. We bid adieu to the USA team, but thank you for the thrills, the spills, the absolutely crazy upsets. I don't think anybody anticipated that they would play as well as they had, but you know, we're so glad to see, you know, a new team on the world map, and we thank Team USA for, you know, all the drama that has ensued their wonderful performances in this T20 World Cup. They sign off from the tournament. We know now that England book a semi-final spot, but who joins them? We have a bona fide quarter-final to build up to on the other side of this very short break here on HMR Waterfront Presents Game on Hair. Will it be the West Indies or will it be South Africa? We'll chat on the other side.
Ji, welcome back to HMR Waterfront Presents Game on Hair. We're building up to what is essentially the first unofficial quarter-final of this ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2024. South Africa taking on West Indies in Antigua in the early hours of today. This morning, 5:30 a.m. You can watch all the action live on PTV Sports. But these two teams have now found themselves in this interesting situation, Yunus, जहाँ पे दोनों teams में से whoever wins will book that spot in the semi-final and whoever loses will be going home.
बिग गेम है और हमें पता है कि दोनों टीमें चाहेंगी कि वो आगे जाएं, और जिस तरह साउथ अफ्रीका ने जो इससे पहले जैसे पास्ट में खेलते थे कि आते थे और हर मैच जीतते थे और फिर वापस आ जाते थे, इस दफ़ा कुछ चेंज लग रहा है। हर मैच में बहुत क्लोज जा रहे हैं, क्लोज विन करते हैं। मुझे लगता है कि उनकी प्रोग्रेस होने वाली है। मुझे ये लगता है, मेरी फीलिंग ये है।
Because they haven't been very convincing in all of their wins.
मुझे लग रहा है।
So maybe this time they might just break the curse.
But Reha, how crazy is this game that you can be undefeated in this tournament and find yourself in a situation because you didn't win well enough, you could be out if you don't beat the home side at home in Antigua. Marty, I mean, cricket, hey?
Yeah.
That's the most South African thing ever in World Cups, isn't it? That they could literally lose one game and they could be out.
Yeah, that's just the nature of tournament play sometimes, isn't it? I mean, it is a pretty unforgiving game at times. We've all found that out in our careers. And yeah, I mean, it comes down to basically it's a straight quarter-final. Made the best team win on the day.
Right. Net run rate, शोएब साउथ अफ्रीका का साथ नहीं दिया नेट रन रेट ने इस ग्रुप स्टेज में। सारे मैचेस क्लोज गए और अब वो रिग्रेट ज़रूर कर रहे होंगे बिकॉज इस वक्त वो अगर हारते भी तो शायद नेट रन रेट पे वो आगे चले जाते, बट अब वो नहीं हो सकता।
I know, but मैं वैसे मार्टिन से पूछना चाह रहा था। I was going to ask him something.
Sure.
You were at the Lords, right?
No.
Were you there?
Yes, I was. Just so happened that I was involved in every single big moment in that game.
Can you give us some stories, for heaven's sake? I mean, like, what were you going through?
Relive some
what were you going through? Sorry, I'll ask you a question later. What were you going through to your mind?
Therapist after this, I think.
You need a therapist?
Well, after bringing it back up and like what sort of moments you meaning? Like which particular ones?
The stumps, the ball gone for 4 runs. You know,
boundary kick.
and you were there.
I threw that ball as well.
Yeah, you threw that ball as well.
You threw that ball.
So what was going in your mind? Can you explain that situation?
I was fielding it deep mid wicket, and the Stokes hit the ball out, and we see the non-striker got off to a bit of a head start. So when I ran to the ball, I thought I'm going to go to the keeper's end, try and create a run out somehow. And when I threw the ball from my angle, it looked dead on target for the stumps.
Oh, really?
And I was thinking, we're in with a shot here, we're in the shot, and then Stokesy's dove, big dive out. And I don't know what I did wrong in my life or anything like that, but it's hit the back of the bat. And then it's just started to trickle all the way down towards third man. And Colin de Grandhomme is chasing it, but he was running backwards trying to get to the ball, and everyone was just like, what is happening? And then I guess if I had held on to the ball, we would have won quite easily.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they still needed to hit one boundary at least in the last two balls to get there. And it was just like, no, I made the decision to throw it, and just dumb luck, it's hit the bat and gone for.
What is with you
four.
with the run-outs? You did that, Dhoni's run-out too.
I get reminded about that
Manchester.
every day from the Indian public.
Yeah, what was it? What is that?
Public enemy number one for throwing a leather ball at some wooden sticks.
How
What
dare you.
angle?
Yeah.
How dare you do your
I had
job?
about 1.5 stumps to aim at.
Wow.
Oh, Mari,
crazy.
you're having some story to give.
What is
Yeah, I want South Africa to just qualify somehow. Come on.
Qualify?
Just
Only
joke.
qualify? Or just
You know what? My heart goes out for South Africa. Every time I see New Zealand and South Africa, as a cricketer, back in my heydays, I used to wanting somehow in the deep side of my corner, in my heart, I wanted New Zealand to qualify. And we were up against twice in a '99 World Cup. And we thrashed them. And I knew they had one of the most fantastic players. Elliott, the fast bowler, and Astor. He was some better. I really want, I love the land of New Zealand. It's just amazing people, amazing cricket team. I always believe that you need to win one World Cup. One World Cup, at least has to be the last one. And I want South Africa to win. I could not see the pain what they go through every time. The New Zealand and South Africa. I just cannot take it anymore. And I wish them best of luck.
Yeah.
Just is the one World Cup. There is
Absolutely.
important.
I mean, we don't need to go back to that particular one and talk about boundary countbacks and what a ridiculous way that was for England to get the job done. But when we talk about South Africa, the World Cup curse, can it finally be lifted? They haven't put a foot wrong. They haven't lost a game, Eunice. But if you're Aidan Markram, what are you saying to your side ahead of a big win? You've got to do it for West Indies in front of their home crowd. They've won 2 T20 World Cups before. They know what it takes to get the job done. But they've been all at sea as well with their collective countries' endeavours in ICC tournaments. So two sides with a lot to prove. What would your captain's pep talk be heading out to the game?
I think it is my gut feeling that they are throwing to the finals.
South Africa?
I don't know how, but this is my gut feeling they're throwing to the finals. And
Snapshot that, please.
And I think this World Cup goes to either India or South Africa.
Okay.
Oh.
that will be an interesting final.
Yeah.
What a final that will be. But Professor, that last game that we saw,
Because they deserve, the South African deserve, and Indians also deserve this World Cup.
let's take like a flashback into that
100%.
last game. Shea Hope, 82 of 39 balls, playing an absolute blinder. Then in their bowling, they have Alzari Joseph, who has 11 wickets so far in the tournament, and so does Andrik Nokia. So the bowling looks like it can be challenging for both sides. What will be the difference in this all-important game tomorrow?
Well, obviously, the both teams playing very well so far in this tournament. The nail biters won by South Africa is giving them a lot of confidence as a team, as an individual, because they did in a very tricky situation of the game where they won the game for the country. So I think they must be on a very high hopes for this game. But West Indies, if they play in West Indies, they are the most dangerous team.
Dangerous
We
side,
all
yeah.
know how destructive they could be. Their bowling attack is doing well. So it's really tough to predict any winner at the moment. But I don't know, somehow not taking away from South Africa, the way good journey they had so far. My heart goes with the West Indies as a home team, and also I feel they can do well because they shown that glimpse that they wanted to win this tournament also.
Right, we're talking about home support and the fans coming into the stadiums, filling those stands in today's match, England versus USA.
Marty rightly informed us all on the break as well. USA automatically qualified for the next T20 World Cup, so it's not the last we've
There
seen
we
of them
go.
on the
There we go,
international phase. So well done, USA. This is just the beginning, and here's hoping you get a stadium in LA so we can all come and watch you in the land of lights very, very, very soon. But just before we go, of course, it's my absolute pleasure now to announce the winner of our J.Junaid Shamshed winner perfume. And today, for answering the question correctly, our winner is, drum roll please, Mohammad Awais. Congratulations, you answered that question correctly. Which player has played the most T20 international matches as captain? You are the trivia master, sir. This is coming your way. A beautiful all-rounder by Shoaib Malik. Congratulations. Thanks to our friends at J.Dot.
Thank you so much, Mohammad Awais, for watching our show and for sending in your answers. Bahut mubarak aapko. This perfume is on its way to you. And thank you, aap sabka bhi, for continuously watching and supporting and engaging with our show every day. And thanks to our wonderful sponsors for making this all happen. Gentlemen, good night, Kareem. Thoda pack up kare. Let's go back. Take some rest because next few games, back-to-back crunch games. There's going to be no time to take, those breathers now. Every game holds so much importance. So I'm so thankful to all of you for your time once again today in Game On Hai. Shoaib, Mardi, Yunus, and Hafiz and Erin, thank you so much for your presence today. Once again, wonderful job. We will be wrapping up our show with this, but we will regroup tomorrow before the match to bring you all of the pre-match analysis, all of the live action only here on HMR Waterfront Presents Game On Hai.